Hello everybody, today I'm going to talk about this gun. So you may have seen in one of my other videos recently about a rate of fire monster. Well, this is the gun in question. It started off life as a Lonex Dynamics LT595 stubby, and it ultimately became what you saw in the video the other day. So the original rifle itself has a polymer lower, polymer upper, polymer rail. It has a metal outer barrel, a polymer flash hider, muzzle brake, polymer foregrip, polymer grip, metal stock tube, polymer stock, and a standard V2 gearbox in it. That's the starter rifle. The rifle as it is now, so it still has all the same externals. However, internally it's still got the same Lonex gearbox, but it's got a ASCU Gen 4 MOSFET in it for a version 2 gearbox, and it has been dual sector geared. Along with that, it's got a Lonex A2 motor in it, which is what I personally believe to be one of the best motors on the market. It's a balance motor, and up until a couple of years ago it was the best motor on the market. Lonex spent a lot of time working on it and they did a very good job. The MOSFET allows for an 11-1 battery to be used. It also allows for the braking on the dual sector gear so it won't overspin. It's got an M140 spring in it to get the FPS back up to 300, because when you use a dual sector gear you lose some of your FPS because you're only pulling the piston back at half as far. But you make up for that with the increase of rate of fire, because every time the sector gear goes round it fires 2 shots. I have two 11-1 batteries here, mostly because I don't know which one is charged. It does go into the stock tube or into the crane stock. So to get that I would have to undo these 2 screws and then pull the back off. I'm not going to do that for the purpose of this video. I'm just going to remove the stock. So rear wide gun, sling points, ideal for a 1-point sling, which is all you need for such a short weapon. Ideal as a sniper backup or ideal for close quarters. Now with it having the ASCU Gen 4 MOSFET in it, when I put a battery on, after a few seconds it will bleep, almost like a Scorpion Evo. So you may or may not be able to hear it. So it's bleeped, it's ready to go, it's acknowledged that power has come to the MOSFET from the battery. So if I put it in semi, as you saw from the other video, nice and snappy. It's had a short stroke trigger, so the movement is minimal before it fires. Whereas originally, on the original base rifle, the trigger had to be pulled all the way to the back before it would fire. It allowed you for the long draw, but if you're looking for something with a high rate of fire and a fast trigger response, which is what we were going for with this rifle, hence the dual sector gear, MOSFET and balance motor, high torque, high speed, you may as well do the whole works. So we did, and we short stroked the trigger. So in full auto, as you saw, it's a nice, really snappy, really fast. If someone gets shot by that, they know they've been hit. If they're not going to call the first one, I wouldn't like to be them when you unleash the rest of it. So it's doing 50 rounds a second plus. I mean, the chrono sort of threw a wobbly after that. It didn't want to read, and the mag wasn't ideal on feeding. We're using probably a 10-year-old mag with a 10-year-old spring in it. Never been changed, and it was just struggling a bit to keep up. You could hear it misfeed every now and again. But with a more up-to-date mag, for example a neutral mid-cap or high-cap with a brand new spring, no feeding worries whatsoever. With it being the ASCU Gen 4, it is programmable in the field, so you can make it single 3-round burst and full auto. You can make it safe semi-auto, which is how it comes. You can make it safe semi-semi if you wanted to DMR it, though you'd never DMR something of this length. It's if you wanted to put it in a longer rifle. You could make it safe 3-round burst full auto or safe semi 3-round burst. So what you need to do to program it in the field is you need to connect the battery, put it in at full auto and pull the trigger, then release the trigger. It'll go through its cycle, So option 1, option 2, option 3, whichever one you want to select. You pull the trigger after it's done that number of beeps. So in the instructions it gives you what each option 1, 2 and 3 does. Pull the trigger, it's ready to go. You'll hear it give an additional bleep which lets you know that the rifle is ready. Then when you pull the trigger, so that's put that into 3-round burst, even though it just sounds like 1 with the rate of fire it's got. And it should be semi as well. So what we're left with here is safe, semi, 3-round burst. That's my ideal CQB setup, Fibua setup. I don't believe in using full auto. All my rifles are built for trigger response, and I consider the side effect of that being the incredible rate of fire that can be achieved. But as I say to anyone who ever asks me the question, lock it to semi, I don't care. So that's an overview of the rate of fire monster that I put up the other day. I hope you enjoyed the video. It is a phenomenal bit of kit. In addition to the gearbox modifications, it's had a maple leaf hop rubber and nub applied. That gives it a bit extra range when it comes to Fibua, so you may end up fighting a little bit outdoors. It's pushing between 60 and 70 meters with the hop set perfectly and with 0.25 gram BBs. That's all I use, that's all I've tested it on. It may get further with 2.8s, I don't know. This was a custom build by Fubar Bundy Airsoft, which is my local shop. They've done a phenomenal job of it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it informative. Thank you.